Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from everywhere you are. This is Mohsen from Microsoft Zero to Hero. I'm so happy to be here with another great session with Microsoft Zero to Hero. Before to kick off the main session, let me share some information about today's event and our community. And today we have David. He wants to talk about the Copilot Studio, create a hotel reservation. David mentioned in the learning room, there are a lot of updates about this topic. Also, before that, in the backstage, I talked with David. He has a lot of new things about the create hotel reservation with Copilot. And Okay, the topic is very interesting. As you know, we are a part of Microsoft Learn community. Microsoft Learn community is a central hub learning content based off the text, the video, and you can choose your learning path based off the career certification. You can ask your question from a lot of Learn experts, and you can join from aka.ms Microsoft Learn community. This is our Microsoft Zero to Hero December calendar, and we have only three events to end of the 2024 year, and all of previous session uploaded on our YouTube channel. You can watch. And the last slide is our code of conduct. Be aware of other, be friendly and passionate, be welcoming and respectful, be open to all question and viewpoint, be understanding of different, be kind and considerate to other in the chat, in the question, in the voice. And the time is to add David on the stage with Christmas theme. Hello, David.
Hello, Mosen. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Very well, very excited to be here with all the community. And you
Okay.
see, our Christmas
Yeah,
theme that I have behind me.
yeah. It's very nice. I hope you have the best year for 2025 and
Thank you.
everything is fine for you and your family and other guys in this event or in the world. Yeah, you can start your session. The topic is very interesting.
All right.
Yeah, let me add your screen. Yeah, we have your presentation. You can start.
Perfect. Okay. So thank you, Mosen. We'll start the session as my colleagues have explained to you. We are today. I will explain you how to create a hotel reservation assistant using Copilot Studio. So we are doing all this presentation, all this demo without writing a single line of code, all using low-code technology that Copilot Studio and Power Platform offers to you, and I will explain everything so you can get it to do the same on your own. My name is David Lorenzo. I work as a Power Platform lead on Prodware, which we are gold partner on Microsoft in Microsoft Dynamics, Power Platform, and other technologies. Also partners on the Azure technologies and so on. Um, this my here my LinkedIn. I will show you again in the last slide. I am MVP on the Power Apps category since this summer. So I was here in the Microsoft Zero to Hero before summer, before being an MVP. So I am proud to announce that award that I received in August, and I am very excited. All these 4 or 5 months doing a lot of content on the internet and trying to get the most of the community, learning from the community and giving to the community all my knowledge and my experience. Okay. The last thing I want to mention, Warandinga Tech, we have a community here in Spain. We have a YouTube channel. Also, we do organize physical events and online events. You can check it out on YouTube, on LinkedIn. We are doing more of the time Spanish content, but of course, the translation system can help you to get the idea and to get the most of our videos. All right, so let's start. And what's a Copilot? So a Copilot is an AI-powered conversational interface based on a large language model or LLMs and other source of knowledge. So that's the one of the definition. The reality is that a Copilot can help us in the daily task to do a lot of things, to help us in our daily work, to help us to build to develop new software, to develop new applications, to extend our knowledge without so much effort. So we can now access the information in a more quickly manner and quickest than before. We had to find it on the internet and so on and try to find the best answer. We now ask the Copilot and get a natural language response back with a summary of our intent. So just a little bit of statistics. Before generative AI, we have um, also we have chatbots. We will see today how to build a chatbot, but we can build it, of course, before generative AI. So we can use virtual power agents, power virtual agents, sorry. We can use bot frameworks in Azure before power virtual agent exists. So we have several technologies, but what was the problem? We spend a lot of time hand building the different topics, hand building the different paths or different ways on the conversation to manage the different responses to the user, trying to guess the intent of the user in every prompt he writes, and then that um, compose only a small fraction of our domain. So you see in the blue part of the graphic that we spend a lot of time building hand building topics to just get a small part of the conversations, and the rest of the conversations get missed. So if you translate that to customers, you get a lot of lost customers, a lot of missed opportunities of selling our product, and then a lot of effort to build the topics that just getting a small part of the leads in a good way. So what generative AI giving to us is we reduce we reduce the time of hand building topics. We get hand build topics to try to guide the user in different ways. But of course, all the rest of the domain, all the rest of the conversation don't get lost, because generative AI, as you will see later, will help us to guess the intent, will help us to reconduct the customer or the client or the user to the correct way. We can add fallback topics to just to reconduct the user and redirect the user to the correct path. And we spend like a small fraction, like the 5% of the time that we spent before in building these different topics. All right, so no much more statistics. We go quickly to see what copilots Microsoft have in its environment. So we start with a lower layer. So we have pro code technologies like bot framework, like bot service channel, Azure AI Studio, Azure AI Search, Power Platform Connectors, AI Builder. We have this low layer. We can use, of course, all that service to build our own copilots. In this way, we need to put more effort in the development, but we of course can go custom in this way, more custom that if we go up the stack in this image. We can of course build Copilot using Azure AI Studio, and Azure AI Search. For example, I have explained this to this community in my previous session in April before summer. Um, and we use in that case Azure AI Studio with Azure AI Search and .NET application, .NET APIs and Blazor to build an interface and just get a rack pattern inside of it. But of course, now we are going one layer up, and then we will use Microsoft Copilot Studio that itself use all the below service to build a more powerful Copilot, a more powerful chatbot uh, with less effort and with more intelligence that the one we get in the previous session. Of course, Microsoft offers just built-in services that use Copilot Studio as the orchestrator. Like, for example, Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365, the Sales Copilot, the Service Copilot, the Copilot for Power Platform, and other copilots that are all not, they are not listed here, but there is a lot of Copilot in Power Pages, in also Dynamics services and so on. And then we can build, of course, custom enterprise copilots using Copilot Studio and, of course, using the below services. So we have a lot of copilots. I recommend also Copilot for Microsoft 365. I will talk about the licensing model in the final of the session, at the end of the session, but it's not so expensive for the powerful it offers to the different users of the environments. So we will keep on this layer today, and then I will show you, we will do a zoom on this layer and see what the architecture of Copilot Studio is. So we have a lot of services, but we will start with a central one. We have here a wrapper solution, Dataverse solution, all right, that includes all the components that are using that Copilot use to function inside of it. So we have Azure Conventional Language Understanding that using entities, pre-built entities and custom entities, and dynamic chaining. We will explain later what dynamic chaining is and see in the live demo. It helps the Copilot to guess the intent of the user in each prompt. So after guessing the intent of the user, the Copilot will redirect the activity to a specific topic, a specific action, or a specific connection, API connection, in order to get the data needed to build the response that the user needs. So that's doing using generative answers, actions, and custom topics. Also, we have also system topics that are pre-built in the Copilot that we can modify, delete, or extend also. And then all these topics and actions can use Cloud Flows, Power Automate, all the more than 1,000 connectors that we have available in Power Automate to connect to external data sources. And then also we can create custom connector. I will show you today two custom connectors that we are using in our Copilot in order to reach or connect with APIs that doesn't have currently standard connector in Power Platform store. So what more? We have in the bottom layer Microsoft Dataverse that help us to do the ALM, the application lifecycle management of the Copilot. We can have all the Copilot inside a solution, and we can move it from one environment to another with an easy way. And also we have the airbag, the role-based access control system that help us to control the different permissions that the different user that use the Copilot must have. Also, we connect with Power BI to see the statistics of the use. We will see later also one thing which is not listed here, which is application insight. We can connect with a simple connection string our Copilot Studio with application insight and just see all the telemetry that our users are sending it to analyze the different use and different possible errors or usage problems that they have. Another interesting thing, we have connection with Microsoft Entra ID in order to authenticate and authorize the users. And they use Azure Bot Service using bot framework skills also in order to improve the different performance of the actions and topics. It uses Azure OpenAI and Azure AI Search in the background in order to chunking and keeping the information of the different knowledge source. And of course, we have data loss prevention policies to keep our data, our business data secure and avoid information leaks in our system. And last but not least, I think is one of the most important thing is the channels. So everything we build, we can publish to different channel with just one click, just a few clicks, and we have our Copilot in Microsoft Teams, in Slack, in Zoom, in Facebook Messenger, in X. In the future, we can do it in WhatsApp also. So Microsoft is doing a great work here in order to help us to interact and connect with different platforms with just a few clicks. So we will explain here our Copilot architecture. Okay, so we have this slide with the Copilot architecture that now is this icon. All right, and I will show you how to the different features that I have implemented in this Copilot. We have the main reason is to help users to make hotel reservations. All right, so if you know about the hotel world, we have the PMS. The PMS is the property management system of a hotel. It's where the hotel people, the hotel managers, introduce the rates, the availability rows, so which dates every room is available, the different prices of the rooms, the different meals and offers and supplements and so on. So everything about the prices and the availability is loaded into the PMS. So we have simulated a PMS in Dataverse. We have 4 tables: the zones table, the hotels table, which is linked to a zone. We have the hotel prices, where we can establish the prices. And then we have the hotel reservation, where the final reservation gets into it. All right, so in order to connect our Copilot with the hotel PMS, we have implemented a facade pattern using Power Automate flows. So we connect using actions and topics the different process in order to complete a reservation. We connect it to Power Automate, and then the Power Automate is taking the information from the PMS, which in this case is Dataverse. Of course, with this architecture, we can replace in an easy way the Dataverse PMS with a real PMS, which offers an API. We can integrate the Power Automate flows with that API, and then we can get the information back without changing our topics, our Copilot, just keeping the schema in the request response. We can change to a real PMS. All right, so we have first these 4 operations in order to get a reservation. Then I think about, so what a tourist will need about a new destination he's visiting in his holidays. So maybe find activities and things to do. So I live in Canary Island in Spain, and I have added two knowledge sources of Tenerife, which is the island where I live, and Gran Canaria, which is another island nearby here. And we can, these two websites uh, um, have information about activities, excursions, and different things to do in the own Iceland. So I created a topic that guess the user intent on the chatbot, and when he's asking for information or activities or things to do in a destination, he tries to find it on the knowledge sources. All right. So what more? You maybe are interested to know the weather on the destination. So I integrated an action using the MSN Weather API in order to get the weather on a possible destination. And the new features that I am showing today for the first time. So I was giving this talk in the past month, and it has until here. So these new features are the new one, brand new one features today. And yeah, so what it allow us is to get restaurants, nearby restaurants, to a place. So I can ask the Copilot to find nearby restaurants all over the world. And also, while I'm doing a reservation, a hotel reservation, I can ask the Copilot to find restaurants nearby the hotel. So that's two possibilities. I will show you both. And how I do that? So I created an account in Google Cloud, taking a API key, enable the geocoding API and the places API, and then I created two custom connectors that integrates with that API. That's using low code. You don't have to write a single line of code. I will explain you how to do it. And then I implemented two actions in Copilot that use that custom connector to go back, forward and back with the information. So if you ask to find nearby restaurants, for example, in Madrid, so you can, the Copilot is intelligent, is so intelligent to get first and call this get address coordinate and get and pass Madrid as a parameter and get the coordinates back, and then use that coordinates to call the second action and get a nearby restaurant that coordinates. That's what's called chaining requests. So the Copilot can use different actions. You describe the different actions in order to accomplish the response that the user has asked. So it knows that the user asked for nearby restaurant. It has 5 parameters. 2 of them are the coordinates. The user won't put the coordinates in the prompt. It puts address. So the Copilot finds another action that is get address coordinates. So it calls first that action, get the coordinates back, pass it to the second action, and then get the results back. So that's interesting. Is a little bit hard to get working. So I am just tuning this because you have to be precise with the different description. But of course, it's worth it to know it to how to do it and how to improve it. So no more slide time. I will show you at the end some licensing and some resources you can use to improve your skills here. But let's do the thing, and then let's go to the demo. So that's a Copilot screen, and then we start to taking an overview of the different section. So the first time is the name, description. That you don't have to worry about this because this is only informative. The first important thing here is the instruction. So here is what is called the system prompt. System prompt are instructions that um, taking care, the Copilot takes care of this instruction in every message that it will construct. So you have to put here just things that are valid for the full behavior of the Copilot. So if there is a specific instruction for a specific action, so you remember this slide. So if I have an instruction only for this action, I won't put that instruction here because then the Copilot will take care of it in every action, and that's not what I want. All right, so another important thing here is the orchestration switch. So we have to enable it in order to the Copilot to use generative AI and dynamic chaining in order to select which action it takes to satisfy the user question. All right. Another thing, before going to the knowledge source, I would like to go the settings, and here is a little bit of 2 or 3 settings that we must tweak in order to get it working. The first thing, when you are creating the Copilot, you must create in English. Okay, that's not mean that the Copilot can only talk in English. So you can use the system prompt, the general instructions, in order to tell the Copilot in which language you want to talk. But in order to use generative AI, the Copilot language must be English. All right, and you can't add new languages. So generative AI, you have to enable this switch here. By default, it will use the classic trigger, in order to respond. That works for several things. So you can try to do yourself, but in order to use dynamic chaining, in order to use generative AI and all the magic, you must enable generative switch here. And of course, you can't have another language different to English. If you have another language, you won't be able to enable that. Another important thing is the content moderation. So you have to think about your use case and select one of the options. This map to the temperature parameter in Azure OpenAI. So the temperature goes from 0 to 1. 0 is creative, 1 is more precise. Here is like 3 slots. Of course, in this case, I want it to be super precise. But if you are, for example, developing like children histories maker, a children's story maker to sleep, then you want it to be more creative and invent things and so on. So you have to take care of your use case here. About security, that's important also, and that's just matters in which channels you want to publish your Copilot. So you remember this slide, you have all these channels. So in case you want to publish the Copilot in Microsoft Teams, in Power Apps, or Microsoft 365 Copilot, you can use the Authenticate with Microsoft, which is, it will use your user account that has permission in this environment, or you have shared the Copilot with that user, and then it can use the Copilot. In case you want to publish in a website, in another channel, you have to use manual authentication. I am not covering this, but there is a good documentation in the internet, in Microsoft documentation, in order to create a service principal, give it the correct permission, configure the redirect token URL and so on, and you are able to get it working. And then you can use, for example, SharePoint knowledge source. You can publish in a website and so on. And from here, yeah, the last thing I want to mention here is the application insight. Okay, so I have already an application insight mapped here. It's not showing here, but it's configured. And then, of course, I can show you. I have it here, I think. Yeah. So here is different um, different message. We can see this later, but in order to configure, you have to go here, take the instrumentation, the connection string, everything here, copy this one, and then paste it here and click on save. That's all. Another thing I wanna show you is the Copilot Studio solution. So if you remember, everything here was inside a solution. We have that solution, of course, in the Dataverse environment. And with that solution, we can, of course, export it to another environment. We can have several environments here, and we can do the ALM. We can use pipelines. You see, everything that we have in the solution. We have 4 tables. We have model-driven application. I can show you now. We have different cloud flows. We have 2 custom connectors. And of course, we have the most important thing, which is the agent ID and the agent component. So in this way, you have all packaged in a solution, and you can move easily from environment to another. So before starting to use the Copilot to make a hotel reservation, I can show you the different tables we have. This is, you remember, the hotel PMS here. So we have zones table. We have the 7 Canary Island. I recommend, by the way, that you visit, if you visit Spain, it's like a paradise here in Spain. We have also different hotels linked to the different islands. So in this case, we have Hotel Alabama, we have a description category, we have a photo here, and then we have it linked to Tenerife. All right. Then we have hotel prices. In fact, we have hotel prices for Hotel Alabama, and we have for room only, for bed and breakfast, and different valid dates. And we have also the table for the hotel reservation, where we can find the different reservations that are in the system with a lookup to the hotel and so on. So this in this table, we will add a new reservation at the end of the demo. All right, so let's go to the Copilot here, and then we can talk about knowledge source. If you remember the knowledge source, we have here the Web Tenerife and Gran Canaria. So this is so easy to add. You just have to find the website. In this case, Web Tenerife contains information about Tenerife. So you see that there is different sections, different things that you can do in Tenerife. Then you add the URL, and this is the most important thing all over the Copilot, is to describe what is the use that the Copilot must do of this knowledge source. So when to use it. So this knowledge source searches information about activities you can do in Tenerife, the south of Tenerife, the north of Tenerife, the island of Tenerife. And then you must not use this knowledge source to find information about hotels. That's because this website contains information about hotels, but I want that all the information about hotels will be taken from my own knowledge source. So you have to play with that in your use case in order the Copilot to give the correct way and direct the dynamic chaining to use the correct action in each case. So we have information about Tenerife and Gran Canaria, and also we have different actions. We have get hotel by zone, get zones. We have the geocoding API connector. We have also the search nearby restaurant, the MSN weather API, all the things that I showed you before here. And of course, we have different topics in order to confirm a reservation, in order to find hotel offers, find activities and things to do, and so on. So let's go and say hello here. We have to be educated. One thing when you are testing the Copilot, I recommend to switch on the activity map, which is this one here. And also, so this is the main activity map, and then the track between topics. So if you go and see the activity map, you will see all the path that your conversation is doing through the different topics. You can then get an idea of how the Copilot is doing to select each topic, and you can improve your trigger descriptions in order to change that behavior as per your needs. All right. So I want to go holidays. So in this case, I am giving an intent to the user, to the Copilot, and that's starting the process. So you can see here that we have the first get zones, which is an action. This is the action icon. So I have the action description here. So you can see get the areas, zones, cities, countries, provinces available in the system where the user can query hotel availability. And my intent was, my phrase, my prompt was, I want to go holidays. So the Copilot is so clever to relate hotel availability with holidays. And as the first thing I need is a zone, is a city, so it goes and use the Power Automate. I will show you here. So it will use that Power Automate get zones, which is connected to this action. You see flow here. And if we see, I will have a run now. You see 1 minute ago, and it take and go to the Dataverse and return a string of all the zones. You see that it'll return all the different zone names, and the Copilot is building a natural language answer here with the different zone. So next step, I want to search hotel availability. So could you find will you find hotel offers in Tenerife? So this way, I am telling the Copilot that the next thing I want to do is to find hotel offers. So here, in this case, is taking this topic, calling this Power Automate flow, and passing, this is important, he is inferring from my prompt that I want to go to Tenerife. So it's taking that as an input parameter for the next action, search hotel availability. And then everything is going to a Power Automate that goes to Dataverse and find the hotels in Tenerife. You see Hotel Alabama, Hard Rock, and Meliá Jardines del Teide. If you remember, you can go here and see that in Tenerife, we have 3 hotels here. So it's dynamically taking the information. So you can think about it and see all the possibilities that you have. So what's next? I choose a hotel. So for example, let's go to Hotel Alabama. It's one of the best hotel, also expensive hotel here in Tenerife. It's great. You have select Hotel Alabama. Now let's find some information to find the best offers for this hotel. All right. So do you want to search for availability in Hotel Alabama? I will say yes. And then it will go to the next step, which is search for the hotel prices, find hotel offers. So in this way, in this case, I will present the user with another adaptive card. It can use here just in the chat as um, um, a calendar, a month calendar, a calendar selector, sorry, calendar selector. And then you can choose the check-in day, the number of packs, and so on. So go and put here 3 packs from the 13th until the 17th on December. And then we will search hotel offers. Now it takes different parameters here. So as you can see, we have the Hotel Alabama that we have selected in the previous step. And then we have the check-in date, the checkout date, the number of packs. That's the input information I have given to the Copilot. And then it will go and use this Power Automate, receiving that parameter as inputs, going to the Dataverse and taking back the hotel prices that match that criteria and putting me here. So room only is for $50 and bed and breakfast $70. So I will choose bed and breakfast. Then it put me a summary. So you have selected offer for Hotel Alabama for 3 packs from the 13 until the 17, a meal bed and breakfast for only that. Do you want to complete? So I just remember now that I want to check out on the maybe 3 days later. Yeah. So I say no. And then yeah, what chance do you want to make? So I would like to check out 3 days later. So if it is sufficiently clever, it will take the checkout date and it will sum it will add 3 days and present me again with the offer. So you can see here, I wanted to check out first on the first time on the 17th. Now I say 3 days later. It is sufficiently clever to add 3 days to the checkout date and then show me again the offer. So I want a bed and breakfast. Yeah, and now I want to complete the reservation. So we go now to the last step. I present to the user another adaptive card with the different selected parameters. So Hotel Alabama, check-in date, checkout date, number of packs. You see here the checkout on the last modified date. And then I ask the user to fill up the different booking parameters. I am taking that information currently from the logged in user, and I only have to enter my phone and confirm the booking. In this case, it's taking up on the last step of the reservation and then going through a Power Automate and inserting the reservation in the database. So you have the localizer here. If we go to the model driving and then we can filter out by this localizer, we have the reservation here and you can see all the information that we have filled up in the chatbot. So so now what we can do, so could you find nearby restaurants? So I want to go to Hotel Alabama, so restaurants to Hotel Alabama in Tenerife in 5 kilometers radius and show the details. of each restaurant. So in this case, what should happen is to we need to what address? Okay, is asking me for the address. I am asking Hotel Alabama, Tenerife. All right, it's not taking in the first time. Then it use all right, it's taking additional permission. So this is something that happens sometimes. We need to refresh the connection, but it's so easy like here. You have to refresh the connection through the different connectors. You can see that we have a lot of connectors here. And all right, we can retry. And now it takes up and use, you see the process here. This is the dynamic chaining process. So it takes on the first time the Hotel Alabama address and try to find here the coordinates in this first box. All right, so it takes the address as an input and then finds the coordinates of the Hotel Alabama in Tenerife. And then it takes that coordinates to, you see, here, Hotel Alabama in Tenerife, and the response is an JSON that contains these two parameters here, latitude and longitude. And you can see in the next box, you remember these coordinates, and then you can see here that it is passing the same values as a latitude and longitude to the search nearby restaurant. And it takes also the 5-kilometer radius and it converts it to meters because I have descripted, I have put a description in this field, in this parameter, that the radius is in meters. I will show you now. So in the end, I will take, you can see, you can find this on the Google Maps. We have the Google Maps link here. So you remember Taberna Marítima Aguisal. You go directly to the Google Maps place and you see that it's nearby Hotel Alabama. So if I put here Hotel Alabama, you can see it's nearby. So it's less than 5 kilometers. So it's correct, right? And you can see all the results that you are taking. Every one of these, I know the zone, so if every one of these is correct, it's giving you all the information that you get back from the Google Place API. And of course, you can we can use also what is the weather in Tenerife. And of course, now it takes the intent and then should call the MSN Weather API, the location, it's Tenerife. It takes a little bit messy with all the context that is above that. So it taking a lot of context of this and maybe it asking you again the different question. But this, you don't have to program this. You don't have to develop anything for this. So if it can't infer from the context of the conversation your intent, it will ask you to provide the different information that it needs in order to satisfy your question. So here you have the weather in Tenerife. Also, we can you provide me with information about activities I can do in Tenerife? So now is the last intent. I want to show you. It should go through the information topic and then showing, you can see here that is triggering an intended find information about activities and things to do. And it takes, you know, it takes the Tenerife as the zone. It goes to the knowledge source and find things in Web Tenerife, and it show you what key series things to do, uh, what to do, you know, in Tenerife. So you can see that it translated on the fly before putting you here. So as you can see, I have shown you every feature is working. You have to take care. Of course, I want to show you very quickly the custom connectors. Let's go here. The custom connector is so easy. So you go here. I will show you, for example, the geocoding custom connector. I have the other one is the same. So you go here, you put here is a lot of it's very important to fill up all the description in everything, in every field you see. So what's the description, what this custom connector is about? Convert address into coordinates. Security, here you configure the security parameters. In the Google cases using an API key. Definition, you import from sample here, put in the URL, the headers, the verb. Also, if you put post, you can put the body, okay, of the request and also of the response. This is very important because here is all the fields, all the schema that the Copilot will receive when the connector sends the response back. And of course, here you can define inside of each parameter, you can define the title and so on. So in this case, it's very important also here, for example, the address or city you want to transform into coordinates. So that's the way the Copilot will know how to ask you for information if it cannot infer, or what information put into each parameter. Okay, and this is very important also in the case of the AI plugin, which is our case. We are using this custom connector for the Copilot Studio. You know that if you know Power Platform, you can use the custom connector only for Power Automate. In this case, this is not needed, but for Copilot Studio, is need to provide here what's the purpose of this custom connector. You can test the different connection here, different APIs. And another thing I want to show you before going back to slides is the application inside. So if we go, you have to find about custom events, and you can see that just 4 minutes ago, I have the last message sent by Copilot Studio, which is in Tenerife, you can enjoy a variety of activities, which is the same message that is here. So every message back and forward that you send to the Copilot send to you is registered here. You can see every error. One important parameter is the conversation ID, which you can use to filter out the different messages that are inside a conversation. And then you can debug your different problems that when you are developing for the first time, you will find different problems. I recommend also for adaptive cars, I can't have time to go inside it, but of course, I recommend you go to adaptivecars.io, and then here go to the designer. You can build different adaptive cars here. You have starting templates here to start by, and then you can customize, add new text blocks, images, and so on. So you can have here the JSON example that you must, of course, adapt to your needs. And then when you are done, you copy that JSON here and go to the go here. And for example, I have one here in the get hotel by zone action. You can use when you are configuring the response. You can of course use It was not here. No, sorry, it's in the topics. In the topics, for example, search hotel availability. When you're receiving the response, you can use you call here to the get hotels by zone action, all right, and then you have the response back here. You pass it to an adaptive card, and then here you have all the JSON. You can also use in case you have an array, like this case, an array of hotels, you can use Power Effects in order to iterate to the adaptive card and build a dynamic response. I will show you in the resources Scott Duro video that I recommend for you to learn this. I learned it from that video too. So that's all. It is a little bit quicker in the end, but you have seen all the features that the Copilot have just now. I want to improve it. I will show you now. So I want to improve dynamic chaining in order to get better go and back and forth, let the user to change the context of the conversation, and the Copilot didn't get lost. I have to see what to do with the previous context in case the conversation goes a little bit longer, because now I am seeing that the Copilot may sometimes get confused with the different parameters. Another things I want to add email notification. That's more like a Power Automate feature. In order, when you confirm the reservation, you can receive an email and so on. I also want to add fallback topics, just in case you get lost in the conversation, you can recover yourself. You can see, for example, if you ask to this Copilot about, I don't know, maybe get me a flight, it won't help you. So you can get a message that gives you a clue about what you can do here. And of course, I have confirmed a reservation in this session, but I can't get information, get the status of the reservation after confirming. So I want to add a new feature that allows you to ask with a localizer and get the reservation information back. That's a room for improvement. A little bit more about licensing, and I will go back with my colleague. So we have two licensing things here. We have the Copilot Studio licensing, which is measured in message blocks. We have 25,000 messages in a month for $200, 180 euros. That's the current price of today. And then you can assign, and that goes to your tenant, and you can assign different blocks of messages to your different environment. If you have 4 environments, you can assign 5,000 to one environment, 10,000 to another environment, and so on and so forth. And then when you finish that block of messages, you can buy another block. And of course, if you don't spend all the block in a month, you have to pay another $200. And the Microsoft 365 Copilot is $30 per user per month. It's about 28 euros. And then you can start using Copilot Studio for building agents for Microsoft 365 Copilot. And of course, you have all the powerful of the Copilot inside your Word, Excel, and all the Microsoft 365 suite of application. You have more information here in this link. And of course, you can try yourself. You can use this link, register for free. You can try this. You can use all the things that you have seen today to build your own Copilot, to build your own agent, and you try yourself and play with the different features. And some resources, my blog, powerplatformninja.com. I write maybe once a month. I have few articles yet. I opened it on the summer. Mario Arias blog, my colleague that is giving talks with me over the year. We have a very interesting blog. That's two are in Spanish. And then the most important thing, the Copilot Studio documentation. You can find everything you need here. And of course, as I mentioned before, Scott do not have these two interesting video where I learn how to use dynamic chaining, how to use custom connectors, and how to use adaptive cards in your Copilot responses. And then this citizen developer will help you also to work with variables, with topics, and so on. And that's all. Muchas gracias. This is thank you in Spanish. I am very happy to be here with all the community. You have my contact details here. Moses, I back to you. Uh, Thank you for the
Great,
session.
great. Thank you, David. It was very interesting. Thank you again about your presentation. Also, we have a two question. Let me share question on the screen. As you see, the first
Yeah,
question is
you can switch my screen off. Right. All right, so in creating the agent, the language I use in the prompt could have grammar errors or misspelling. Yeah, that's correct. I try to not put in the demo, but you can, of course, misspell something. Just take care of if you misspell a lot and the Copilot interpret another word. So just that's not the case. But if you misspell one, two letters and the Copilot gets your intent, there is no problem. Yeah.
yeah. Then the last question is
Even you give it a precise website as a knowledge source, you still have to check the results. No, I didn't check the results. I just open the link in order you can see what the website is, just to show you, no. But the more important thing is in the knowledge source. When you add the URL, you add a description. In that description, you have to be precise of your idea of when the copilot should use that knowledge source. So you, and when you are testing the different messages, the different prompts, you see that you will have to tweak that description in order to get your desired result. Okay, but of course, after a few testing, you can be sure that it will check the correct knowledge source.
great, great. Thank you. And there's no more question. I think we can end of the discussion. Thank you, guys. Thank you, David, again
Okay.
for your presentation. Have a, I hope you have again best year 2025. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye bye. Bye bye.